told you I do not want a girl. I want a boy. I want someone who will continue from me. What is all this?
Devaluation and marginalization of women, I have lived it. I have felt it. I have been a true representation of it. It's a girl, another girl. Another useless thing. Another burden. Another curse. Those were the first words I heard upon entering into the world. My father's voice, thick with disappointment, echoed through the walls of the room. It was the beginning of a journey of dejection and non-acceptance. Growing up, I tried so hard to be enough, but it was just never enough. My only crime was that I was born a woman, and that made me less valuable. The weight of my father's disapproval, the lack of love and support, the rejection finally got to me. I started to believe in the narration he has woven around me, that it was not okay to be a woman. So one day, I decided to leave to where I believed my kind belonged. The streets became my home, a concrete jungle where I felt invisible and forgotten. I navigated the city's harsh realities, the cold indifferences, the fear of being rejected and judged. My self-esteem was shattered. I was broken. No hope, no future. I withdrew, isolating myself. One day I had an encounter with a woman and my entire life changed. She belonged to a women's organization that rendered help to women in need. My encounter with her changed my entire life. I got to dine with people who saw me not just a woman, but as human. I got to be educated. I got to be empowered. My self-esteem was boosted. I found my wing, and when I did, I sailed through. I found back my smile, and when I did, there was no going back. I was fortunate to have found liberation. How about the many who do not survive the rejection? Today's women still face the problem of devaluation and marginalization. According to Ghana Statistical Service in 2019 and in 2020, only 15.6% of women own lands. Only 10.4% of women hold leadership positions. Women in Ghana earn 12% less than men for the same work done. 60.3% of Ghanaians believe that men are superior to women. Why? Ghana has over the years made commendable efforts to uplift women and give them right standing in the society. Through legal reforms such as the Domestic Violence Act and the interstate succession laws, we have laid the foundation for protecting women's rights. Policies such as the National Gender Policy and the Free Compulsory Universal Basic Education have opened doors of opportunities for women to thrive. The Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection has been doing a great job. But while we celebrate this achievement, we must acknowledge the challenges that remain. Implementation gaps, which often leave our laws unenforced, especially in rural communities where traditional practices continue to dominate. Cultural resistance remains a formidable barrier with deeply rooted patriarchal norms hindering progress. To overcome these challenges, we must ensure that our laws are not just written, but are enforced with consistency and fairness across all regions. The Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection should invest in cultural educational programs that challenge harmful norms and encourage societies to embrace gender equality. Additionally, specific grants should be given to organizations that support women's growth. Tax incentives should be given to individuals and organizations that contribute to the growth of women. My personal commitments as someone who has faced devaluation and marginalization, I will focus on a community-driven approach My vision is to create a local women's hub that will empower women economically, socially, and politically. It is important to acknowledge that by engaging men as allies and partners in the fight for equality, we can together achieve a more equitable Ghana where everyone, regardless of gender, would do well and thrive. Men should stand alongside women in the fight for equality. Only through the collective efforts of every gender can we truly achieve a better society and achieve the 17 SDG goals that we seek to achieve by 2030. And hey, it's perfectly okay to be a woman. And it's okay to give birth to a woman. Nipfokma, thank you.
My friend, what was the results concerning the land issue your wife sent to the court?
Oh, I won the case, my brothers. I won the case. Women of nowadays, they like overstepping their bounds. They want me not to even marry an educated woman. But I didn't listen, my brothers. I didn't listen. Now look at me.
Can you imagine women getting lands to farm in this community?
How?
If you say 1, she will say 1,000. Anytime I fight with my wife, she has to apologize to me. Anytime.
Say that again, my brother. I don't know why women nowadays are rushing too much. Women wanting to own land. Imagine your daughter who is in university. She's really a stranger because after school, she'll be married and she'll go to another community.
It is so.
Why then does she want to own land in this community? Again, if she goes to where she'll be married to, she's just a wife and she doesn't deserve a land there. My friends, tradition is tradition.
Currently in Ghana, close to 80% of Ghana's agricultural affluence is as a result of the integral role played by women. Yet, despite their significant contribution, women continuously face barriers that hinder their full participation and potential in agriculture. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, over 800 people are undernourished. This means that they do not have sufficient food to eat. While climate change and conflict contribute significantly to this crisis, we must realize the crucial factor often overlooked, the role of women in agriculture. Women are the backbone of our agricultural sector. You see, in many communities, they constitute more than half of the labor force. They are the primary food producers, from sowing the sorghum to tending the tomatoes, harvesting the corn and preserving the yams. Women break their backs all season long. But why is it that our cultural practices and traditional norms continue to bar women from owning land? Why is it the case that less than 20% of landowners in Ghana are female and less than 10% of landowners in the Upper West region are female? We are raging against the threat of food insecurity. Just recently, our Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Brian Echampong, announced the ban on the exportation of cereal. The battle is a fight against food insecurity, and we must realize that women's full participation in agriculture is an integral solution to the threat befalling us.
But my daughter, what is the solution now?
Tell them, my daughter. Tell them, my girl.
Thank you for listening to me. The solution lies in our hands. If Pito can be shared, if TZ can be shared from the same bowl, the land can also be shared. Granting women access to land is granting access for all. Granting women access to land is helping your wife succeed beside you. Let's take Rwanda, for example. This is where reforms have led to women owning 24% of their land. This change has led to an increase in agricultural productivity and improved sustainable development and improved their food security as well. Empowering women in agriculture is not just an investment in our future. It is a way to empower and invest in our economy, our future generations. I understand the roles played by the local and international non-governmental organization. I also acknowledge the many investments these same bodies have put to support women in agribusiness. But I am strongly recommending that the government should nationalize the issue of female land ownership and work in conjunction with the traditional authorities to tackle the issue of female land ownership in our region and the country at large. Today's woman has evolved from the traditional roles of yesterday, where their contributions were often limited to the kitchen. Today, they play a significant role in empowering in advancing. Today, they play a significant role in advancing. Today, they play a significant role in advancing Sustainable Development Goal 2, which focuses on ending hunger, achieving food security, and empowering sustainable development. By empowering women in agriculture, we are not just fighting against food insecurity. We are investing in our future, our economy, and the generations yet to come. I would also use my voice to raise awareness through social media campaigns, forums, through social media campaigns. I would also use my voice to empower women and create awareness through social media, seminars, forums. By empowering women in agriculture, we are not just fighting against food insecurity. Propriety to land. Propriety to land. God. Propriety to land. Propriety to land. God. Thank you.
Hatier from the Upper West region. I think we'll bring your presentation to an end here, and I'll move straight to the judges.